About to Head Instructor.
Down to beginner and newcomer students at home. Yeah, let's just maybe do another minute of quick breathing and then we'll switch into embracing horse. We'll run over a couple minutes so that you guys get the full time. Those that are here in person, let's go ahead and transition to embracing horse. If you're at home and you need a few more moments of breathing, please go ahead and take them, and then when you're ready, transition into that embracing horse. Separate the feet shoulder width apart, toes turned in slightly so the outside edges of the feet are parallel. Sink down, get that tuck. Release, straighten the legs, lower the hands, circle the arms up, inhale, and press the palms down to exhale. Okay, so last class we got up to playing guitar 1. Let's run it from the top through that point twice, and then see if there's any questions, and then we might take a look at that third, or the second brush knee push, which is weird because it comes from the other direction. And it's the same, but if it comes from the other side, it always feels totally different.
Yes, ma'am.
Step left. Commencement. Ward off right. Ward off left. Ward off right. back, shift with those legs, then lower the arms. Press. And push. Single whip. Lift hands. Strike with shoulder. White crane spreads wings. Brush knee push, 1. Circle, circle, step, brush knee push. For playing guitar 1, follow through, reset the foot, at a wide angle with heel, open the arms, close the arms, set the left heel down. Good, one more time, just like that. Step left. Commencement. Ward off right. Ward off left. Ward off right. Pull back. Press. And push. Single whip. Lift hands. Strike with shoulder. White crane spreads wings. Brush knee push, 1. Rotate, waist, rotate, step. Playing guitar, 1. Follow through, step up halfway, shift back, open the arms, close the arms, set the left heel down. Good, release. Any questions about any of those moves up till now, or anything you'd like to see, or have any questions or need clarification on? Yes, ma'am.
Just a question. When we go to single whip
Uh-huh.
and we straighten,
Mm-hmm.
we shift back. Do we straighten and start, or do we straighten
Ah.
and then start?
Good question. That's sounding like a green sash. So if you did not hear at home, the question is, at what point do you start the turn from after you withdraw or start to shift back from the push? So the question is, does she shift back and then turn, or are you shifting and turning at the same time? And the answer is shift back, then turn. Again, all of these get smoothed out once you get more comfortable with it, but from a teaching, like an understanding of where your weight should be, I want to make sure that I'm shifted back, because being on this back leg, since my whole body is gonna turn, including this leg, the weight needs to be out of it before I can release the toes. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So if I were doing this together, I would be wrenching my knee a little bit. So you're gonna empty that front foot by shifting back, and then you turn the body as a unit. Very good question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Anything that you need to see, or would like to see? No? Got it, okay. So let's spend our time looking at brush knee push 2. That's the funny one, comes from the other side. And you're just gonna have to trust me on it if it's brand new to you. It is the same, it is just going to feel totally different. So let's get into the end of playing guitar. So the right foot will be at a right angle, left heel out, right hand by left elbow. And from here, you're going to rotate a little bit more to the left, so my right hand by my left elbow. Is that right? Sure, right. Oh, I hate when this happens. It's like you get out of your routine and then it goes away when you try to put words on it. Let me. No. Brush knee push 2 is the same. Brush knee push 3, that's weird. It's me. There we go. User error. My words have just been wrong. These last 3 classes. I told people yesterday Golden Rooster stands on one leg as if it was the open form and it was Saber, and I'm like, why are you looking at me all funny? Oh, because I told you wrong. Yeah, so one of those times. So brush knee push 2 is exactly the same. Brush knee push 3, which I'd like to get to today, is the funny one. So, end of playing guitar. There we go. Shake off the brain cobbles. Now, so you're in a slightly different starting place, but it's, instead of white crane, you're here. But you're gonna rotate to the right, left hand by right elbow. Sink down, step in, step out, brush knee push. So that initial turn to the left is not there this time. But other than that, it's the same. Let's reset. And brush knee push 2, so turn to the right, left hand by right elbow, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift, brush, and push. One more time, just like that. When I thought I got over this camera thing, when it first started, it felt I called it the Eye of Sauron. It was just like burning at me, and I kind of got over that. But it still happens sometimes. And then whenever that happens and I make a mistake, it amplifies. It's like, oh, I've made a mistake in camera land for all of eternity. Burning. All right, playing guitar. Brush knee push 2, turn to the right, left hand by right elbow, sink down, step in, step out, brush knee, and push. Good. So now let's back up to the end of white crane spread wings. So brush knee push, playing guitar. Question?
No,
Okay.
just,
You were white crane.
I was already white crane.
I'm trigger. I see the hand. Question. No, white crane. Okay. So at the end of white crane, and rotate to the left and to the right. Sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the left, turn to the left, turn the right toes in. Playing guitar, follow through, step up halfway, set the heel down at a wide angle, open the arms, close the arms, set the left heel down. Brush knee push 2, turn to the right, left hand by right elbow, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the right toes in. Shift to the left, turn to the left, turn the right toes in. Now it's just a thing. Now it's just going to be the rest of the time. Yes, question?
This time, yes. Playing guitar,
Uh-huh.
the hands to go before the foot placement.
So the timing of the hands in playing guitar.
It looks like that's what you did.
So they're starting, but they don't finish until the heel comes down. So they're not succinct, timed up movements. Yes, that looks correct. So, because remember what I'm trying to do is don't get hit in the face. And then I'm going to start, this starts to close, but I put that foot down, which is what finishes that snapping motion. Does that make sense? Good questions. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Brush knee push. Turn. Turn. Follow through, playing guitar. Brush knee push 2. Good. Okay. Release.
step, excuse me,
Mhm, go
you
ahead.
don't step up after, number 2, do you? You don't move forward yet.
Not really, no.
It's just you're kind of stationary.
So, yeah, it's mostly
It's-
stationary. I mean, you might
You're in
move
this-
a tiny bit just because of how you're doing it, but it's not a full step, that's correct.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna demonstrate that, and then I'm gonna add on the next brush knee push, the one that I swapped. Okay, so, white crane. Tips for white crane, take a look to check whether you're at that 45-degree angle to your space. That to your space used to confuse me when I was first learning this, but that just means like if everybody, I can't say to the corner, because if everybody points to the corner, depending on where you are, you're gonna be at different angles. So if I'm here in my square, I'm at a 45-degree angle to my square, roughly. If you're at home, just 45-degree angle to wherever your immediate space is. But if you don't have that angle here, it sets you up to be askew and off, or get your footwork kind of messed up when you start into your brush knee pushes. So if ever you're having an issue in a Tai Chi move, chances are that problem started a couple of moves ago, and it's usually with footwork. So by backtracking a little bit and taking a look at those moves will help you clear up what may be giving you trouble in a current move. And so with the brush knee pushes, if your feet are off, check white crane spread wings. So here, I'm at my angle, and rotate from the waist, body trying to move as one, my torso. Brush knee push. Set the heel down at a wide angle, set back. And so my arms start, brings the foot, and then the arms finish. Circle. Here. Now for this one, I'm gonna rock back, pivoting on the left heel so that I can turn that torso again, and my right hand's gonna go by left elbow. Sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. So brush knee push from the other direction, but it often just feels super wacky.
That feels weird.
Say it again?
That just feels weird.
It feels weird, right? And like this can't be right. This feels weird. So let's go through it together. Let's go from the end of brush knee push 2. So our left foot is forward. I'm going to rock back so that I can pivot on the left heel and turn out. At that point, I'm going to rotate my arm so my right hand is on my left elbow. I'm going to shift into that left leg, sink down, step in, get my balance. From here, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. Again. So left foot forward. And rock back, pivoting on the left heel, so turn out to an angle. And I'm gonna rotate my right hand by my left elbow. Shift into the left leg, sink down, step in. Step out to that double dragon, shoulder width foot placement. Shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. Reset. Shift back, turn to the left, pivot on the left heel, right hand by left elbow. Now shift into the left leg, sink down, step in, step out. Shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. Release. Questions?
I guess just the angle of the foot when you
The angle of
turn
the
it.
foot.
It's not like maybe what, 45 or 60.
So it's a little wide because what you're trying to, and again, these are orange dash level questions. I mean, this is all three of these orange sashes are just about to go to green sash, and it shows because the level of awareness and questions that they're asking is like, oh yeah, it's time. So you're going to rotate out enough that once you take that step, this hip is out enough so that it turns with your body to come into those 45 degrees. Does that make sense? So rather than say, oh, it's 60 degrees or it's 80 degrees, it's, I want to rock back enough and turn. I mean, I'm pretty far out here. So that when I shift here and then I step, my hand here is connected to my body. And when I finish, I've turned into that 45 degrees. So it's really, I consider those shift back and pivots as a reset. I'm resetting my posture to be able to get my body weight behind the next move. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That is not a beginner way of describing this. So again, if it's a good gay, if it's not, so with that in mind, let's try it a couple more times together. Shift back. So you're all on that right leg. Turn to the left, pivoting on the left heel. Shift to the left, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe. Shift to the right, turn to the right, turn those left toes in, hopefully with your body behind it, not just rotating your foot. You see the difference?
Yes.
Release. And what I mean by that is, see if I can, so, and it's a way to get your body behind it. It's also a way to help your knees not get tweaked. Tai Chi is about learning to move this whole part, like your whole body as a unit. So I connect this whole leg to this hip, to this waist. So as I shift it and I turn my body, my toes come in because my leg is attached to my, I basically, I don't fuse this joint, but I connect this joint, my hip, to my body, versus I've shifted and then I use my hip to turn that in, which that will strain your knee and that will strain your hip over time. So practice connecting. I mean, it's hard to connect the whole body, but side by side, this side is connected to this leg. So as I shift here, I turn my waist and my torso, and that leg comes in because it's connected. In theory, makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, anytime you hear that, shift to the left, turn to the left, turn the right toes in, it's not really turning the toes in. The toes are coming because that hip is turning in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so let's practice these, what we just did, thinking about that. We're trying to stay connected, like this whole part. Okay. We got the right feet correct, that's correct. So rock back, pivot on the left heel, circle the arms, right hand by left elbow, shift to the left, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn that left body in with the toes attached.
Much better.
Better?
Oh, yeah.
Good, good.
Big difference.
Release. And if it's not better, don't panic. It will get better. It's, with Tai Chi, you fix one thing or you understand it in a new way, and it kind of feels like maybe you took a hammer to the rest of it. And just, but you will integrate it, and it'll all recalibrate. So if you can get comfortable with that sensation of, well, I did this, and now everything's wrong. It's not. It'll catch up. There's like a little time lag to it. All right, let's do that 2 more times, and then we'll back up and sneak up on it. Rush knee push, 3, rock back, pivot on the heel, circle the arms, sink down, step in, step out, shift, turn, toes. One more time. It looks good. Rock back, pivot on the heel, shift to the left, sink down, step in, step out. Shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. Mr. Payne, just shift a little bit more forward. A little upright with the torso and shift into the front leg. Yeah, there you go. Yes, sir.
I found that when we shift back,
Uh-huh.
I'm perhaps not turning this so far that
Ah.
when I come out, it's already where I wanted for my double drag.
Okay, yeah, so that, it's good that you're not turning it in more when you finish, if you find that happens, that's okay. Again, it's connecting this with your body. So, watching from the front, if I'm here, if I shift back and this stays connected and I turn here, this is gonna come with it.
Uh-huh.
So again, maybe think of bypassing that hip. Well, there you go. So I haven't shifted back and moved my torso and then I move my leg. This whole thing, if I'm here and this stays as a unit and I turn here, this comes with it.
But I think that's my point. I don't think I'm turning it that far out. Am I not turning far enough?
Well, let me see. Do you mind if I see? You could shift more into that back leg. And if you put more weight in the back leg, you would have more room to turn the hips, which would then bring the foot.
Okay.
Also, if your double dragon's feet are not wide enough or long enough, that's gonna limit your ability to turn completely as well.
I'll focus on that.
Yes, so two things there. So for those at home, if I'm moving my body, but I haven't really shifted my legs, like I'm kind of tricking myself and I'm a little bit double weighted. If I turn, this is as far as I can turn. That looks better. I don't have enough room because I haven't fully committed to this leg. Second, if my stance isn't right, if I'm not in that shoulder width apart walking lunge for me, that too, like if I'm too narrow, say, too long and too narrow, I can't, this doesn't work either. So I would say those two things. Check your weight so that when you've shifted back to pivot, you're really all on that right leg in this case. And also don't lean back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just trying to check.
Okay, because that's another place that you can compensate, or you think that you've shifted back, but you've really leaned back. I haven't shifted and turned, I've kind of half shifted and leaned. I'm not seeing too much of that in here, so don't take that as a correction. Yeah, that looks good. But those are the three things. I feel like the Monty Python in Spanish was three things, wait, four. So.
Always room for improvement.
I'll come in again. So, check your foot placement to make sure your double dragons are in the right shape. Make sure you are fully shifted back into that right leg in this case. And then don't lean back. All right, let's go from white crane spreads wings, and we'll go through brush knee push 1, playing guitar, brush knee push 2, brush knee push 3, and then we will bow out. And brush knee push 1, circle, circle, take down, step in, step, shift, turn the right toes in, everybody looks great. Follow through, step up halfway, set the heel down at a wide angle, shift back, open the arms, close the arms, set the left heel down, playing guitar. Brush knee push 2. Circle to the right, sink down, step in. Again, this is to get your balance, to help you step. Brush knee push 2. Here we are, brush knee push 3, rock back. Pivot on the heel. Yep, very good, Mr. Payne. Shift to the left, sink down, step in, step out. Brush knee push 3. Hold that, Mr. Payne. Shift into your front leg and up with your torso. Yes, yes, good. Uh-huh.
I was all focused down there.
That's okay, that's okay. And release. Good job. Any questions? Last minute?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we ran over because we started late, so let's go ahead and bow out. We follow the 5 hearts: faith, respect, perseverance, patience, and humility.
Bow to Head Instructor.
Down to beginner and newcomer students. Students at home, basic training is dismissed. Good job.